Social distancing extra note, no charge. I was considering further the topic of social distancing and reviewing the Israelites' exodus from Egypt when I noticed something interesting. Take a look at Exodus, the 12th chapter, verses 7 through 12 and verse 22. In verses 7 through 12, it basically states that after spreading the lamb's blood over the doorpost and side post of the house, that a complete meal for their entire family should be prepared. Then everyone should sit down at the table and eat all of the meal with their shoes on, coat on, hat on, and staff, etc., in one's hand, ready to go at a moment's notice. I expect as a faith moving or faith building move, inspiring expectation of God's deliverance from Pharaoh. As they would say in the neighborhood of my youth, they were ready to go. Then in verse 22, it was made even clearer, stating, and I quote, "And none of you shall go out at the door of his house until the morning," unquote. Hmm, interesting. So this is what I received from that, relating it to our current COVID-19 orders to social distance and now to even stay indoors. In spite of the fact that the destroyer was only going to smite the firstborn, make it so, number one, Jean-Luc Picard. Anyway, everyone was to stay under the blood covering, stay protected, stay out of the way of the destroyer, but stay ready for what the Lord would do next, because it ain't over. God was saying that he is going to show himself strong, and he did. We need to keep the same ideology. Boy, it's thundering and lightning. God is doing his work. Go sit down somewhere in a corner and be quiet before the Lord strikes you down, because you getting out of place. And if he don't strike you, sit down before I do. Those are words I'm imagining would come from my dear elders, past and gone on to glory. Words full of wisdom, caution, reverence unto God, and faith. In that same manner, believer, God has told us he's going to do a work and he wants us out of the way. Go sit down and eat. Huddle up with your family and love on one another. Eat a full meal to keep your strength up. Pray and remind each other of what God has done for you in the past. I mean, this did become Passover for the Israelites. And on the movie, The Ten Commandments, they did sing songs and speak of the scriptures. Very plausible and worth taking note and following even now. Keep your faith up and your clothes and stuff ready to go. Because God about to show off and remind folks who he is. The faith of believers will be renewed and strengthened, and unbelievers will again be brought to a place of making a choice. Whose report are you going to believe? Who is your Redeemer? Is your faith, hope, and allegiance in the right place? Believers, stand still and see the salvation, the glory of the Lord. Exodus 14 and 13. This is Elder D.T. Stanley, interim pastor for Harvest Time Worship Center, reminding you that God is for you. I'll talk to you later.